Hi, I'm John Manelas with Auto Care Plus. In today's video, I'm going to explain to you or answer the question that everybody asks us to is, do I need winter tires or snow tires, or can I get away with my all-season tires? All-season versus a snow tire. All right, so the questions we always get this time of year is, do I actually need snow tires? And the answer is, you need tires if the temperatures where you live are below 45 degrees, because the compound of the rubber is such that it remains soft and pliable so that it can grip the road once it gets below 45 degrees. 45 degrees just happens to be, think of it like this. Think of a candy bar you put in the freezer, right? You put that in the freezer and it becomes hot as a rock, right? It becomes brittle and it'll shatter. Your rubber does the same thing. They call it the glass temperature. It's where it turns to glass and basically acts like glass. So they formulated the rubber in a snow tire / winter tire so that it will remain pliable. What if it doesn't snow in your area? Do you still need winter tires? Absolutely. Again, this is all about how the tire behaves in cold temperatures. So this is an all-season tire, this is a winter tire. And everybody wants to know why they can't just run their all-season all year. And unfortunately, it's not that simple. The formulation on the all-season, although it's better for colder temperatures than a summer tire, it still is a compromise. It doesn't go to the extreme temperatures that a winter tire does. So these tires become very brittle, much like your Snickers bar in the freezer. When it gets below 45 degrees, they start to get very hard and they can actually shatter and rubber can come out of these things. So the other disadvantage of having an all-season tire. All-season tires don't have the stringent DOT regulations on traction. And so you can have an all-season tire that's very close to a winter tire, or it can be very close to a summer tire. And so if you're running one that's on the other extreme for the winter, it's not going to be very good in the snow. So it's again, it's a compromise. It doesn't do anything very well. It's really good in the spring and the fall when you got rain on the ground at moving water and keeping the tire on the ground. But the snow tire, again, soft, compound, it's never gonna get brittle or hard. Its tread patterns are a lot different than an all-season, and they're different because they got these big grooves so that they can move the water away a lot quicker. And again, the idea of the tire is to stay on the ground. So the way it stays on the ground when there's water and ice and snow is it channels the water away from the tire in here. The other thing that you'll notice about snow tires is it's got these really, really small sipes. They call them sipes, but they're grooves. They're really tight. And what they're actually designed to do is move water, but they're also designed to grab and hold on to the snow. Snow is like a snowball. It sticks to itself, right? And the snowball gets bigger. The thing with this is it gets the snow in these grooves and it holds on to the snow so it can get better traction. If you've ever been behind a snow tire, a good set of snow tires in the winter time, those cars throw up a rooster tail, if you will, of snow. The other question we get all the time is, can I just do 2 tires? And everybody wants to put the 2 tires on the front of a front-wheel drive car because that's the traction axle. Again, very unsafe to do. You should always run 4 tires, 4 winter tires, because what happens if you put 2 snow tires in the front and 2 all-seasons in the back, you're going to have a lot more traction up front and you're going to have no traction in the back. And when this has more traction in the front, you have no control over the back, and the back's going to fishtail. And once it starts to fishtail, you have no steering, and you're going to do, the car's going to spin out of control. So you want to have the same amount of traction on both axles for the most amount of stability and control of the vehicle. Same thing if you were to put the snow tires in the back and all seasons in the front. Same thing happens. You're going to get into an oversteer condition where the car will spin out. So you always want to run 4 tires. I know it costs a little more money to do it that way. That's the way it should be done. So the other question we always get is people, think that they need to have their winter tires studded. And, a lot of the manufacturers will have provisions for you to stud the tires, which is, putting a pretty much a metal rod inside these holes. But again, it's a very, very limited use case. For the most part, they don't help your handling or anything on dry pavement. And again, unless you live in the great white Arctic North, or you're up in the ski country all the time and you're always driving on snow-covered or icy roads, as soon as you get onto the dry pavement, these things are going to be not very good at handling. They're noisy, not going to be a quiet ride. As a matter of fact, most states mandate that studded tires have to come off at a certain time of the year. So again, probably not needed for most people, but if you live up and you're driving up mountain roads that are snow covered all winter long, then that's probably the best case for that. Okay, hopefully now I've convinced you that winter tires are a necessity and a good idea to put on your vehicle. Now it's time to go shopping, and so when you go shopping, the one thing you got to look out for is this symbol on the tire that editor will zoom in on for us, but it's a 3 mountain peaks, and all that means is the DOT has approved it as a true winter tire. And if it doesn't have those mountain peaks, it has not been DOT approved as a winter tire.